I found out later that week that they tested positive. Had I known, I would have immediately stopped going to work. But later that week, I found out, you know what? Hey, we were positive after all. So what I'm trying to figure out is how is that possible that you could get tested that day and then be negative and then still get it from someone?
Yep. So this is unfortunately what's happening with Omicron is we're finding that it's extraordinarily infectious. That's why it's sweeping across America right now at breakneck speed. And what that means is that you can be negative in the morning, in the afternoon, and be positive and infectious later that day, even on a PCR test. And this is really, it doesn't mean testing isn't important, but it means that we have to be extraordinarily vigilant when we are thinking of gathering in big groups, that we can't rely only on a test, and we never really could rely only on a test, and Omicron has only made it much more difficult.
But Doc, why doesn't everybody know this? Why didn't the president mention it? Why is it only in Boston that they shut down all these events without some sort of proof? How can we stop it? I mean, how do you stop something that you get tested in the morning and you get it in the afternoon?
Well, the important thing is that most people, you were that individual must have just been exposed, was not at a very high viral load yet. So I agree, it is making it much more difficult, but it doesn't mean testing is not useful, because there are many days during which somebody's infectious that their test will turn positive. So at a population level, if somebody is infectious, they will most likely be tested positive that same day, but there are going to be these cases where 10 or 15 or 20% of people who are infectious are still going to be negative when they start transmitting, and then they might only turn positive the next day. And I agree, it is making it extremely difficult to be able to control this virus, which is why it's just spreading like wildfire. And unfortunately, what it means is we need to be testing. We need to be wearing masks. Again, we need to be, we potentially need to be stopping large gatherings so that we can reduce the fallout of a situation like this where somebody might be infectious.
I mean, won't there be some sort of the likelihood of a super spreader? I mean, super spreader event, an indoor arena for a basketball game. Couldn't something like that just generate, like if one person had measles when I was growing up, the whole class got measles that day. I mean, could we be on the verge of something like that?
Well, we could. Ideally, though, one of the best things about a test is that it will catch the most infectious people. So somebody is walking into a building and is spewing out so much virus that they might infect 20 or 30 people who are closely packed in. That would be a true super spreader. These tests are doing a very, very good job at catching the most infectious people. And so my recommendation is when people have gatherings or events, use a rapid test as soon before an event as possible. 15 minutes before an event, pull out a rapid test and use it. And don't do it a day before. Don't do it 3 days before. Don't even, if possible, don't even do it 5 hours before.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @JimCramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Kramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.